Shana Tova Umetuka. These are all the people who are inside, also Sharon Levine. So please enjoy and participate in the service. So thank you. And we begin on page 134. Herman Hamelach. And for the Barhu, we turn to page 138. If you can, please rise. Seated. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer or v'choshech oseh shalom uvor Hakol Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer or v'choshech oseh shalom uvor at Hakol. Together in English. Praised are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who forms light and creates darkness, who ordains the harmony of all creation. The light of the world is found in the source of life, who spoke, whereupon out of darkness there came light. Shema is on page 154. We close our eyes in order to concentrate. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. And we say in English, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one." Please join me for Ve'ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha vechayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anokim etzabecha Hayom al vavecha veshinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'beitecha uv'lechtecha b'derech uv'shogbecha uv'komecha וקשרתם לבות על ידיך, וחיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Page 162, מי כמוך. מי כמוך באלם אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נור ותהילות אוסף אלי, שיר וחדשה שיפכו גאולים לשמך שפת הים יחד כולם הודו והמליכו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. צור ישראל קומה בעזרת ישראל ופדח נעמך יחודה בישראל. גואלנו אדוני צבאות שמו קדוש ישראל. ברוך אתה אדוני גל ישראל. Our Amida begins on page 164, and we actually pre-taped that whole section but we won't be able, for those of you who are here, we are not going to be able to hear it. If we would like to listen, we have to go back into the yard and listen it on our TV. And for those of you at home, you will have the video that Gary and Victoria will share. So I'm heading out to the yard.
Create a pure heart in me, great Spirit. Create a pure heart in me. Create a pure heart in me, great Spirit. Create a pure heart in me, and that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יחללוך. סלום.
We continue in silence. With Kedusha on page 172. Nekadosh, Nekadosh, Nekadosh et Shemcha ba'olam, Nekadosh et Shemcha שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וכרזו אל זה ואמר, קדוש, קדוש, קדוש אדוני צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ כבודו. אז בקול רעש גדול אדיר וחזק משמיעים הקול, מתנשאים לעומת שרפים, לעומתם ברוך יאמר ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. ממקום מלכנו תופיע ותמלוך עלינו כמחכים אותנו לך. ימלוך just the note please. ימלוך אדוני לעולם אלוקייך ציון לדור ודור הללויה, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, קדושתך נקדיש, ושפחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, כי מלך גדול וקדוש אתה, וקדוש אתה, כי מלך גדול וקדוש אתה, וקדוש אתה. We continue in silence through page 180. The following blessing, the priestly benediction, we're going to do in Hebrew and in English. It's on page 180, second paragraph. Adonai v'yishmer b'cha ken yihi ratzon. May the Lord bless us and protect us. May this be God's will. Yar Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka ken yihi ratzon. May God show us kindness and be gracious to us. May this be God's will. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasevim lecha shalom ken yihi ratzon. May God bestow favor upon us and grant us peace. May this be God's will. Garrick and Victoria, you might remember this blessing that I gave you under the chuppah 4 years ago. Sim shalom. Sim shalom. Sim shalom, tova uveracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael amecha. Sim shalom, sim shalom. Faye, can you please join me on the left side to read the English on page 181. A prayer for peace and besefer Chaim in the book of life.
Grant peace, goodness, and blessing to the world, graciousness, kindness, and mercy to us and to all your people Israel. Bless us all, O our Creator, with the divine light of your presence, for by that divine light you have revealed to us your life-giving Torah and taught us loving kindness, righteousness, mercy, and peace. May it please you to bless your people Israel in every season and at every hour with your peace. Is that it? Go.
Continue, please, in the book.
In the book of life, the blessing, peace, and prosperity. May we and all your people, the house of Israel, be inscribed for a good and peaceful life. Praise are you, O Lord, source of peace.
Baruch atah Adonai oseh hashalom. For the next part of the service, which is going to be Kriyat HaTorah, the reading of the Torah, I would like to invite Jewish and strong men or anybody who can hold the Torah, please come up. And we continue on page 194. Yeah? I don't recognize your face in a mask, or I don't simply know you. What is your name? David. Can't go more Jewish than that. Please, oh, not yet. So you just stay here, David. And when we open the ark, you'll take the Torahs out. Page 194, Adonai, Adonai, the 13 attributes of God. Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum v'Chanun, El Rachum v'Chanun, Arvech Apayim v'Rav Chesed v'Emet, Notzer Chesed l'alafim, Notzer Chesed l'alafim, Nose Yavon v'Afesha v'Chata v'Nakeh. Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum v'Chanun, Arvech Apayim v'Rav Chesed v'Emet. Please turn to page 198. So David, if you can grab a Torah scroll for us. It's the middle one. Perfect. This one, yeah, you just put it, hold it like that. No, right here, higher. Usually I go. So you want to turn facing the congregation. Usually I have only one mic to shovel, now I have two. Let's sing Shema Yisrael together. Shema, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh v'norah Shemo. Gadlul Adonai iti, v'neromemo Shemo yadav. And we're going to bring Torah scroll to the table and just place it down, okay? Lecha Adonai hagidula v'chagivura v'chatiferet v'chanetzach v'chachod ki kol bashamayim u'ba'aretz kechol bashamayim u'ba'aretz have to undress it. So pull the covers. So this way we're going to be prepared for Hagbah later on. And not to confuse the blessings with reading of the Torah, we have to always cover the Torah if we don't read from it directly. Once again, Gary and Victoria are going to show us the video of Rick Linden, who is going to chant the Torah for us, and we pre-taped that. For those of us who are here, we could go into the yard and follow on page 202. 202. And I actually can hear my voice on the TV, so we could even stay here and just follow the reading with the English translation. Okay, the video, please. And now we're just about to read our Torah portion by Rick Linden, who is the cousin of Fred Gordon. But before we do that, let's say our bracha together. And please say it if you had any kind of simcha in the last year. A birthday, a celebration, anniversary, a wedding, a new baby in the family, all those simchas will count. So let's say the first blessing together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai notin haTorah.
Amen. Adonai, Okadet Sarah Kasher Ayas Adonai, Lissarah Kasher Diber, Bataha, Batelet Sarah Abraham, Ben Iskanav, Lamoed, Asher Diberoto, Elohim, Vebra Abraham, et Shem, Beno, Anolad Lo, Asher, Ildolo, Sarah, Yitzchak, Vayomal Abraham et Yitzchak, Beno, Ben Shemona, Yamim, Ka'asher Siva Oto, Elohim, Abraham ben Ma'at Shana, Vahivaled Lo et Yitzchak, Beno, Atomer Sarah, Tzachok Asali, Elohim, Kol Hashemeya Yitzachek Li, Vatomer Mimilel Abraham, Eni Kavanim, Sarah, Ki Yalati Ben Miskunav, Vayigdal Hayeled, Vayigamel, Vayas Abraham, Ishtegadol, Biyom Yigamel et Yitzchak, Vatera Sarah et Ben Hagor HaMitzrayit, Asher Yoldal Avraham Yitzachek, Vatomer Avraham Garesh, Ha'ama Hazov V'et Benah, Li Lo Yirash Ben Ha'ama Hazov Im Beni Im Yitzchak, Vayera Hadavar Ma'od Ve'en Avraham, Alodot Beno, Vayomer Elohim El Avraham, Al Yera Be'enecha, Al Na'ar V'el Amatecha, Kol Asher Tomer Elecha Sarah Shema, Bekolah, Ki Yitzchak Karei Lecha Zera, V'gam et ben ha'amar l'goya simenu, Hi zeracha, hi וישכם אברהם בבוקר, ויקח לחם בהמת מים, וייתן אל הגור שם על שכמו ואת הילד, וישלחך, ותלך ותטע במדבר וישבה, ויאכלו המים מן החמת, ותשלח את הילד תחת אחד השיחים, ותלך ותשב מנגד הרחק כמתחת הקשת, כי אמרה על אראה במות הילד, ותשב מנגד ותישא את קולה ותף, וישמע אלוהים את קול הנער, ויקרא מלאך אלוהים אל הגור מן השמיים, ויאמר לו מלאך הגור, אל תראי, כי שמע אלוהים אל קול הנער ואשר הוא שם. קומי שאי את הנער והחזיקי את ידך לו, כי לגוי גדול עשיננו. ויקח אלוהים את עיניה ותרא במים, ותלך ותמלא את החמת מים, ותש את הנער, ויהי אלוהים את הנער, ויגדל וישב במדבר, ויהי רובה קשות, ויושב במדבר פרעה, ותיקח לו עמו אישה מארץ מצרים. ויהי בעת ההיא, ויאמר אבימלך לפי כל שא צבאו אל אברהם לאמור, אלוהים עמך בכל אשר אתה עשה, ואתה השבה לי אלוהים, והנה אם תשכור לי ולניני ולנכדי, כך החסד אשר עשיתי עמך תעשה עמדי בים הארץ אשר גרת בה. ויאמר אברהם אנוכי שבע, והוכח אברהם את אבימלך על אודות עיר המים אשר גזלו עבדי את אבימלך. ויאמר אבימלך לא ידעתי מי עשה את הדבר הזה, וגם אתה לא הגדתי לי, וגם אנוכי לא שמעתי בלתי היום. ויקח אברהם צאן ובקר, וייתן לאבימלך, ויכרתו שניהם ברית, ויצב אברהם את 7 כבשות הצאן לבדהן. ויאמר אבימלך אל אברהם, מה הנה 7 כבשות האלה אשר הצבת לבדנה? ויאמר כי את 7 כבשות תיקח מידי, ועבור תהיה לי לעדה, כי חפרתי את הבאר הזאת. על כן קרא למקום ההוא באר שבה, כי שם נסבעו שניהם, ויכרתו ברית בבאר שבה. ויקח אבימלך לפי כל שר צבאו, וישבו אל ארץ פלישתים, ויטע אשל בבאר שבע, ויקרא שם בשם אדוני אל עולם. ויגור אברהם בארץ פלישתים ימים רבים.
Let's close the Torah scroll and say the blessing, the second blessing together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu torat emet, v'chayei olam nata betocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Yay for breakfast! Great job!
Definitely better.
We pause our service, remember those who are seriously ill, and offer the words of Misha Berach, our prayer for healing on their behalf. Today we are thinking about
Bill Willett, John Grazer,
Herman, Gary, Victoria. Please join me in singing Misha Berach. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor Abracha Leimotenu May the source of strength who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Yemotenu Mekor Abracha Leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. And now I would like to call for Hagba and Galila. Hagba is the one who lifts up the Torah. Gary, please start coming up. And Galila is the one who will help him to rap. Any of you would like to? Absolutely. Come. Ashley. So Ashley and David joined us today, and we just installed the window for Ashley's mom. So you lift up the... Yamod Natan ben Naum befrieda, וזאת התורבה אשר שם משה לבני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. Ya ya la 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 ya ya la 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 ya ya la 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 ya la ya la la la. Your back is to the people, so go. Ya ya la ya la la ya la ya la la ya la. Ya ya la 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 ya ya la ya la ya la ya la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya ya la 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 ya la ya la 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 ya ya la ya la la ya la ya la la ya la ya ya la ya la ya la ya ya la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya ya la 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 ya la ya la 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 ya ya la ya la la we're going to bring Torah back into the ark. Please rise, and Savali, please come with us. You are next. Eitz Chaim is on page 258. Laya, 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 ya, la, la, laya, la, la, laya, la, la, laya. Ya, la, 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 ya, la, 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 ya, la, 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 ya, la, 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 ya, la. Ya, ya, la, 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 ya, la. Ya, ya, la, ya, la, 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 ya, la, 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 ya, la, la, la. Eitz Chaim He. Eitz Chaim He. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, David. And now, please be seated. And now, our wonderful and beloved Sarah Lee Callahan, our president of this temple. It's up to you. Whichever podium you would like. Oh, you want your chair? Hold on. Yeah. How about you come here?
Is this microphone?
Hold on. I will give you the mic. All right, now that we figured out the mics,
Shana Tova, on behalf of Temple Emmanuel and its officers and its board of directors and its visionary committee and its congregation, we welcome all of you, both members of our congregation and new members and members of other places. In this strange year, I see so many things that have moved me in such a wonderful way, and it's how people have come up and donated and joined and cared and volunteered. Some people that have been volunteering for years, and some people that have been inspired just by caring for each other. And I want to thank the Gustat family for donating what you see on the bimmer in loving memory of their family. We are going, this year we thought it was more appropriate to get a food basket to donate to someone. And the temple has been so involved on Mondays and on Fridays with the Shah Family Foundation, the YMCA, in giving out baskets of food to anyone in Chelsea who's a child up to the age of 18. And I believe we've given away over 30,000 meals in the last couple of months. I feel that it's kind of like the Red Sox without their, or the Patriots without their crowd, or the Celtics, but we decided this year to do whatever the background is of Temple Emmanuel, which is always to give you options. Temple Emmanuel started 93 years ago in this city, and it started as an Orthodox synagogue, but progressed and moved to this area, kind of Americanizing the city and the second generation of people born here. And I always think of the three-family house in Chelsea as being an example of our history, with Bobby and Zadie downstairs, Orthodox, who came from another country for the most part, and people on the middle floor, raising their children in a different environment. When Temple Emmanuel opened where it is now, on the corner of Carey and Tudor in Chelsea, it was the first synagogue where men and women sat together, and where the things were changing. And today we represent everybody. We represent everybody as Chelsea was growing into a different area. There are people who belong now who might have belonged to the Hurd Street show, or the Shirtliff Street show, or the Elm Street show, but we try to serve everybody, and we're so welcoming. And I always said it doesn't take 10 years to peel a potato in the kitchen. Anyone who wants to join or be with us or just donate or just come is welcome. We have two tents in the yard, and we're streaming what's going on in here for the high holidays out to the yard, and we're also streaming it at home. And we thank Gary and Victoria of Easy Video Productions, who have helped us in this pursuit. We had a Zoom service last night, and I think there were over 50 people on the Zoom service. But the people are from all over the country. This is the first year we've had as many out-of-state membership applications as ever before. We're so grateful to Rabbi and Cantor Oksana, who's been with us for 14 years, and our hearts, are just so involved together, and she has done so much to help our congregation. I didn't know how we were going to survive, and I was very nervous this year, and now I can see that, thank goodness, the Visionary Committee is here to make sure that 20, 30 years from now, this temple is still in existence. And we're doing everything we can to keep it happen, to make it happen. Our social hall had a problem in the ceiling. It was totally reconstructed, and we were just about to approach people having bar mitzvahs and renting it out, etc., and the pandemic set in. But it's still there. It's finished now. We're going to celebrate its completion in the spring. The Sisterhood is going to have its annual donor in the spring, and we hope that you will join us as we start up our Zoom services again after the holidays on Friday nights. We hope that you will join us in our pursuits. Give us your opinions. We welcome them all. I don't know what I'm going to do this year for I'm not going to sell eggs, and I'm not going to sell baseballs, but you know I probably have something up my sleeve on Yom Kippur. And on Yom Kippur, Kol Nidra evening, we are going to have Nathaniel Lothrop, our cellist, right here in his normal pursuit of doing the Kol Nidra prayers. And we're trying to accommodate everybody, and we hope you will be patient. And I wish you all, your families, your children, your parents, everyone, a heartfelt, happy, healthy New Year, and hopefully we'll rise above this soon. And thank you very much for attending. We really appreciate it.
Shana Tova Umetuka. May it be a wonderful and sweet new year. Hi, Sue. Just a year ago, during the high holidays, we heard the words of prayer, Unetane Tokaf. And we're just about to hear this prayer again. I'm sure that today the phrase, who will live and who will die, will resonate in us very differently. Only last year we had no idea that we will lose so many loved ones and for whom we will mourn forever. Among these people are our beloved friends and members, Cindy Tatelman, Gloria Glazer, Adrian Abrams, Marlene Demko, the daughter of Sue Huberman, Gloria Garrick, and Irma Vanderpool. For this temple and our community, this is a huge loss, and all these ladies are simply irreplaceable. Only a year ago, we had no idea that we would use technology in a whole new way for school, work, communications, and more. We did not know that we would see abandoned cities across the globe. Everything has changed. The economy, international relationships, people getting married or divorced in vast numbers, more people moving into suburbs, the rise in unemployment, the rise in mental illness, drastic changes in school protocol, and wearing masks becoming the norm. So many aspects of our lives have changed, and angst of the unknown continues to dwell. The Prime Minister of China, whose name I can't pronounce for the life of me, who served in the early 1940s, was asked if the French Revolution in 1848, 100 years earlier, was a success or otherwise. And he said, it's too soon to tell. We simply don't know how all this will impact us long term, but we know for sure that the change is here and now. This pandemic is changing us and the way we live and the world around, and we don't know if we ever go back to the world we knew before. And my question for today is, but do we want to? Do we want to go back to the world before the pandemic? Maybe some of these changes will have a positive effect. Another name for Rosh Hashanah is Yom Harat Olam, the day of creation of the world. The first book of Moses, Breshit or Genesis, begins with the following words. In the beginning, God created heavens and earth. And the next phrase is, the earth being unformed and void. If we think logically, these two phrases should be reversed. The world was unformed and void, and then God created the heavens and earth. Makes sense. An Italian rabbi, Kabbalist, and philosopher in the 18th century, Moshe Chaim Luzzatto, took this order of the words literally. He said that at first the world was created, then the world was destroyed, becoming unformed and void, and only then created anew. Created, destroyed, and recreated. If we apply this teaching to today, we would say that something needs to be destroyed, in other words, to make room for, in order to create a new and hopeful future. I say this not to discredit the immense pain that has come from this pandemic, but to look into the unknown and hopeful future. According to Rabbi Hershey Glock, what we see is that these crises made many people think deeply about what it means to be human, about one's mortality, and about the meaning of life. This situation woke many people up. We face serious questions about ourselves as individuals. We have to look ourselves in the eye and ask some harsh questions. Whom am I? What am I? What is the purpose on earth? And why am I here? Am I living meaningfully and with intention? This is a great wake-up call to each one of us to be more honest with ourselves, to be more in touch with God, with our ancestors, our strength, and the potential of doing good in the world. During our Slichot services a couple of weeks ago, we started working on Hashbon HaNefesh, the counting of the soul, that will help us to ask these important questions. And if you missed that service, please let me know and I will email you these questions or give you a hard copy. What tools from our tradition will help us survive? I would like to offer 3 ideas: coming together, taking care of ourselves and each other, and finding humor. Exodus 19:2 says that the reason the Torah was given at the foot of the Mount Sinai at that particular moment, in that particular spot, is because the children of Israel came together as one, transcending their fragmentation and disputes. They circled that mountain united in hope and possibility. This moment in our history calls us to form a united front, not only Jewish people, but for all of humanity to come together as one. We can fight the virus and recreate our world, but we cannot do it alone. Rabbi Bradley Artson says, the excessive isolation will lead to pandemic of the soul. Very powerful. He suggests for us to take care of ourselves by using this time to strengthen whatever daily practices inspire and sustain us. Daily prayers, psalms, meditation, exercise, a stroll, good book, or poetry. Jewish tradition teaches us that love, chesed, is not merely an inner emotion. It is a way of behaving towards others that result in a manifestation of love. In today's world, we have to find new ways to reach out to each other. We can't hug, but we can smile. We can't shake hands, but we can wave. In our new world, we will continue Zoom our services at least once a month, continue with our book club, and some have suggested a distanced movie night. We are discovering new ways of being together while separate for safety at the same time. Along with coming together as a community, along with taking care of each other and ourselves, what else that help us to survive? Definitely humor. An Israeli-American comedian Benji Lovett famous phrase, "We say Jews throughout our history have laughed to keep us from crying." On this note, let me please share a few jokes. What's the best way to avoid touching your face? A glass of wine in each hand. I ran out of toilet paper and had to start using old newspapers. Times are rough. Yeah, I have plans tonight, and I'll probably hit the living room around 8 or 9. The following three come from the Jewish sources. A rabbi was asked what to feed a person suffering from the coronavirus. "Matzah, of course," said the rabbi. "Well, does it help?" "No," said the rabbi, "but it slides easily under the door." A stock market crash is worse than a divorce. You lose your money and your wife is still around. I moved my mezuzah from the front door to my fridge because it's the only door I still open. We need to laugh to keep us from crying and to keep our sanity. Today we are beginning a new year. I pray that the year 5781 be a year of less surprises, a year with new opportunities and us being open to them, a year of laughter, a year of growth and positive change. We don't know who will live or who will die in the upcoming year, but in the meantime, let's live our lives to the fullest. Shana Tova. Our prayer on Etana Tokov is on page 282. 282.
שופר גדול ייתקע וכל דממה דקה יישמע ומלאכים חייזון וחיל רדוי חייזון ויאמרו הנה יום הדין לפקוד על צבא מרום בדין כי לא יזכו בעיניך בדין ויום בעולם יעברון לפניך כבני מרום כקרבות רודרו מעביר צאנו תחת שבטו כן תעביר ותצפור ותמנה ותזכות נפש כל חי ותחתו קצבה לכל בריאה ותחטוף את גזר דינם בראש השנה יקטבון וביום צום כיפור יחתמון כמה יעברון וכמה יברוויון מי יחיה ומי ימות מי בקיצור ומי לא בקיצור מי וישו מי במים בראש השנה יקטבון וביום צום כיפור יחתמון מי בחרב ומי בחיה מי בראש ומי בצמא מי במגפה ומי במניקה ומי בסקלה ומי ינוח ומי ינוח מי ישקט ומי יטרף ומי ישלף ומי יעצר מי יעני ומי יאשר מי ישפל ומי ירום בראש השנה יקטבון וביום צום כיפור יחתמון ונשובה ותפילה וצדקה מעבירים את רוח הגר
The next song that usually the choir sings after every sermon, I will sing unfortunately by myself, and today I would like to dedicate it to Marlene Demko. She loved that song. I brought this song to the choir right after she lost her husband Leo, with her in my mind. So she was on my mind when I saw that piece, and she loved it till the very end. This was the last song I sang to her at her deathbed. And when the night begins to fall, and when the world is dark and silent, then in your heart a simple song lights the way, and when you've lost your guiding light, and when your fears and doubts surround you, then in the dark you'll hear that song, that ancient voice inside you there to guide you safely through the night. Look for the light, don't fear the darkness. May all your dreams be dreams of bright tomorrow. Just light the flame, just set your sorrows free, and know the light you light for all the world to see. Bring on the light, don't fear the darkness. Let every candle light the light of freedom. Just light the flame. It's up to you and me, and know the light we give to all the world to see. Bring on the light, don't fear the darkness. Let every candle shine the light of freedom. Just light the flame. It's up to you and me to know the light we give for all the world to see. And if one smile could light the heavens, and if one song could touch the star, and if one candle burning brightly, it could reach all the nations far. Sing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Bring on the light. Marlene will always be our guiding star. Today, we're gonna skip the shofar service, but we're gonna do a full shofar service tomorrow. And Gary and Victoria will share a video that Marsha and I sing Areshet Sifateinu. We usually do it for the last blessing after. There are 3 sections, if you remember, Malchuyot, Zichronot, and Shofarot. And usually Marsha and I sing that song after the last prayer. Great Aleinu is on page 304. Please rise.
Aleinu l'shabach Gedolo bereshit shelo asanu Baruch Hu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. At this moment, we think of our loved ones whom death has taken from us in recent days, and those who died at this season in years past. Our hearts open as well to all the wider circles of loss in our community and wherever grief touched the human family. Zichronam livracha. May their memories be for blessing. We praise God's name on page 64. 64. Yidgadal veyitkadash shemei rabba belma divra hirotei v'yamlich malachotei b'chayeichon v'yameichon v'chayei dechol beit Israel b'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shemei rabba mevorach le'olam u'lalmei almaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudesha brichu le'ela ol'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nachamata de'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlam rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Please remain standing and turn to page 336. 336. We're going to open the ark for all of our prayers to fly up to God. Please join me in singing Hayom. Hayom, 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 Hayom temanseinu. Hayom, 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 Hayom tevarcheinu. Hayom, 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 Hayom tegadleinu. Together in English, on this day give us strength. Amen. On this day bless us. Amen. On this day help us to grow. Amen. On this day be mindful of us. Amen. On this day inscribe us for a good life. Amen. On this day hear our plea. Amen. On this day mercifully accept our prayer. Amen. On this day support us with your just strength. Amen. We conclude with Adon Olam, my favorite version of Adon Olam ever. Please be seated.
For God is with us, and we will not be afraid. These are the last words of that prayer. How powerful. Page 351. In English together, as loudly as we can. 351. And also, before we conclude our service, I would like to say a few things. My thanks and our thanks are to our wonderful and beloved President, to Sarah Lee, for your inspiration and dedication to our community. To Earl Vigoda, our technical guru, who spends hours and hours preparing for our services on Zoom. Herman Weiss, a very talented pianist and composer. Marsha Johnson, wherever you are, for your gorgeous voice and musicality. Our visionary team, especially Herb Selesnik, who kept us organized in this new unknown, and let me add a very rocky journey. He is going to speak on Kol Nidre night, so please join us for that. Felix Mercado, our right hand, who worked endless hours to get our temple and the yard ready for today. And thank you to all of you who came here and those of you who are long distance with us for your help and your support. Shana Tova Umetoka. Tomorrow's services are going to be held in the yard. We're going to have a full Torah service. We're going to have a full shofar service. We're going to have a text discussion. And also we're going to have tashlich and meditation. Mary, who is a professional yoga instructor and meditation instructor, will come and lead us through that process. Page 351. Please rise and let's say together this prayer. May it be your will, O Lord our God and God of our ancestors, that the new year bring us well-being and blessing. Inscribe us in the book of life, O God, and grant us in the new year a life of peace and goodness, a life of blessing, sustenance, and health, a life marked by true piety and the avoidance of sin, a life free from all shame and reproach, a life of abundance and honor, a life ennobled by love of Torah and reverence for you, a life in which all the worthy desires of our hearts will be fulfilled. L'shana tova tikatevu, l'shana tova tikatevu, a good year of peace we wish to you. Shana Tova Umetoka. And I'll see you tomorrow, and if not, on Yom Kippur.